Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I am driving, so you will hear some noise in the background, so please bear with me, as well as I do have a tendency to struggle for words. Now I'm going to try to take my time with this video, so I want y'all to bear with me, because again, I do struggle for words when I speak because of my Jamaican dialect. And also, I want y'all to have an open mind with this video, all right? It's going to sound a little bit bugged out, but just, have an open mind. Now, the other day, my daughter asked me, Dad, why is it every time you shop, you always read the back of the packages, right? Whatever food item that I purchase, I always read the back. And she said, I notice you do it more than Mom. I said, simply because I'm trying to avoid eating pork product, because we're under the Leviticus law. I think it's Leviticus chapter 11. And the Most High gave us a dietary law. She's full aware of who we are as a people. I've been teaching her this when she was around 4 years old, actually 3 years old. She's 14 now. So I explained to her that, it's not impossible to obey. It's hard, but it's not impossible to obey the law, as long as you do everything in your power to try to obey the Leviticus chapter 11 dietary law. So she said, why was that law given to us? I said, because it's for two folds. One, the Most High wanted us to eat healthy, right? A lot of this food that we eat, like pig, for example, right, that we consume, we're not supposed to be consuming it. So she said, why? So I gave her my theory, but of course, the swine, is not something you should consume, because they don't have any sweat glands, right? They don't really have a sweat glands. That's why they always wallow in the mud to keep cool. That's number one. Number two, they consume everything, even their own litter. They literally will eat their own babies. They eat anything. The pig is actually like a garbage disposal. That's what they used to use the pig for back in the days, back in our time, when our ancestors was living back in ancient times. They used when somebody's body die or an animal die, they would literally throw it to the pig, and the pig would consume it. It was like a garbage disposal. So she said, okay, is that the only reason why we shouldn't eat the pig? I said, yeah, because like I said, it's a garbage disposal. She said, what if they're farm raised? What if they're farm raised where they just give them grain? That's why you want to eat some pork? She said, no, Dad, I'm just asking questions, because in school I be telling kids that I don't, my friends, that I don't eat pig, and they ask me why. So I just want to give them a good answer. And I told her, Leviticus chapter 11, the Bible told us not to eat it. And I explained to her that again. And also the pig and crabs and shrimp and lobster, they cause hypertension. They cause health issues. This is why the Most High told us not to eat, to be separate from these heathen, these hybrids. They eat anything. So I said, it's another theory out there that pigs are actually, in other words, when someone died, that's wicked, right? They usually reincarnate, and their spirit is put into a pig as a form of punishment. And I even explained to her, in the Bible, there's a passage in the New Testament, which I don't rock with, but just for argument's sake, I told her there was a passage in the Bible when so-called Jesus that didn't exist was casting out some demons out of a person. The demons asked them to be put into a pig. So there's cultures out there that believe that human souls are actually in pigs. And I went as far as to tell her that if you look at a pig's eyes and a human eyes, they look identical, right? I even said to her that the other day I was talking to my son Omari, and he was telling me, asking about his friends, who's his best friend in school. He actually have a lot of girls that's chasing him. I mean, most of his friends are girls, right? But not in the sense like that, you know what I'm saying? But he love girls, he love women. Even when we go to the park and he see a nice, and I notice how he is. He have a tendency to gear towards those hybrids, and I hate that shit. Have a tendency to want to play with the hybrids, and he's a girl's man, right? But he have a tendency to want to gravitate to these fucking hybrid kids or these mixed kids. He don't really gravitate to his own kind. And I asked him the other day, I said, who are your best friend in school? And he started naming, a guy, a boy, and he named two females, right? And I said, okay, what color are they? Now with the boy, he said brown. This is how you know kids are innocent. And with the girl, he said pink. He said pink. He didn't say white. He said pink, because these kids know colors. These devils call themselves white because white associated with purity and innocent, and black associated with hatred and darkness and evil and shit, right? So when he said to me, he said, go ahead. He said she was pink, and sure enough, she is pink, right? Because that's the color. That's really the color of a so-called white man. It's a pink motherfucker. Anyway, so I started to explain to her. I said they have the same eyes. If you really look at a pig's eyes, it almost look human. So I do believe that myth that when you wicked and shit, you come back and you reincarnate into a swine, into a fucking pig, because that's like the lowest animal in the animal kingdom. Is a damn pig. You can't go no lower than that. That's why most of the time people call police officers pigs when they do wickedness. You know what I'm saying? That's the lowest fucking animal on the animal chart. And then I showed her some photos, and she said, "Wow, Dad, you're right." And she said, "You know who that eye looked like? Like Trump. Trump got that pig eye." I said, "Yeah, exactly." I said, "If you ever look at a so-called white man, they have the same lips as a chimpanzee. They have the same. They always call us monkeys, but in actuality, they're the one that's closer to or related to monkeys, because they have the rhesus monkey DNA, and they also have monkey lips." Right, little thin lip. They don't even have lips. A lot of times they try to go and get these, lips blown up and shit. But they're the one closer to monkeys. But because they're the one that's ruling, they spin the narrative. They try to, use propaganda calling us monkeys and shit. Talk about we apes. I ain't gonna lie. Some people, some of the black people, they do. I ain't gonna lie. In the black community, some of them do look like monkeys. But at the end of the day, looking like monkeys and having a DNA of the rhesus monkeys, two different things. Right? Because you got some unattractive people out there in all cultures, right? But if at the end of the day, we don't have the fucking DNA of a monkey. And most white people, they have lice, right? Lice is almost, to me, similar to fleas. You know what I mean? If you look at the flea and look at the lice, they look identical. So I was explaining to her that I believe that that might be another one of the reasons why we shouldn't eat pig, because, we're eating humans. And there was actually a documentary a couple years ago where you had this Asian men. I don't know if it was in Thailand, but one of these Asian countries, right? And he was a cannibal. He was eating humans, literally eating humans. And they asked him, what does and there was another Caucasian dude too, a big fat Caucasian dude. He was eating humans too. And they asked both of them, not in the same documentary, but both of them, what does human taste like? And they both said pig. It tastes like pig, bacon. That's exactly what they said. It tastes like pig. It tastes like bacon. So, who knows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, for them to say this shit tastes like human, it could be some truth to it. Because remember, when you're born, right, the soul is put into your body. You know what I'm saying? So how do we know that the soul of a wicked individual is not put into a swine for them to, carry out their punishment on this prison planet? You know what I mean? Just like us, right? When we are born into the human body, the Most High put the breath in our body. That's why they spank the baby when the baby is born. The baby cries out, and then the soul, right, goes into the baby, and then the spirit goes into the baby, and then the baby become a living soul. And the same thing during death. You ever notice most people, when they die with their mouth open? Because the same way how they enter the body with their mouth open crying, they exit the body through the mouth. Notice most death, like in nursing home, you always see these people with their mouth wide open, because that's how the soul exit the body. So again, it could be some truth to this pig thing. This is probably one of the reasons why the Most High told us not to eat any damn swine, because we're eating people. Right? Humans are dwelling in these bodies called pigs. Again, just have an open mind to what I'm saying. I believe there's some truth to it. Go do your own research. Look at their eyes. They have the same high eyes as a human. Matter of fact, Donald Trump's eye looks just like a pig eye. I'm just saying. Anyway, family, with that I say peace and blessing. Shalom, shalom.